Yeah.
I love my HBCU. And boy, I love it, love it. I love it, love it. I love my HBCU. And man, I hope my team they won one. Yeah. I hope my team they won one. Yeah. Man, I hope my team they won one. I hope my team they won one. Yeah. I tune into the HBCU Sports Lab to see if my team won or lost. If they lost, I'm quiet as a mouse. But if they won, keep tab. I'ma do the dab, yeah. Dr. Cavil, he know what he be talking about. Mike and Charles, they know what they be talking about. They compress the analytic data with the hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they won or lost, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gonna teach a lesson.
This is Dr. Cavil inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington, Charles Bishop. But guess what? Not just Mike on assignment. We also have Charles on assignment. I don't know what's going on around these places. I guess I need to go back and check to see am I paying these guys enough? They seem to be so busy. Maybe they just are doing the world a favor. With that being said, welcome to episode 823 of Inside the HBCU Sports Lab, radio show and podcast, the show that's covering the sporting HBCU diaspora, all things HBCU sports for institutions large and small. From the NAIA to the NCAA, we share insights and information on the HBCU sports culture, sports HBCU athletic aesthetics to facilitate the story of HBCU athletic programs and the business of HBCU sports. In short, we just call it the HBCU sports pedagogy. With that being said, I'm your host, Dr. Kenyatta, along with my co-host. Come on up and join me. That is none other than AD Drew. You can always count him, find time to join the team. As he's on the road, though. Don't say that he's on assignment. He's on assignment and still joining the show. Talk about that. My co-hosts are Mike Washington, Charles Bishop. Sometimes it seems I beg to be different, but we are filming from our home studios and sending a signal live to our Case-Wage 1230 AM studios with the Texas Radio Hall of Famer, multi-Hall of Famer that is, Ralph Cooper, in a beautiful home at Texas Southern University from Houston, Texas. Today's episode of Inside the HBCU Sports Lab is sponsored by THG Agency. THG Agency is a company that provides sporting, educational, and consulting analytics. With that being said, AD, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, Doc. I need some of Mike's comp time though, because I just need my day. I'm not asking for vacation time. You know how you can sell your comp time and everything. You can give it to a fellow employee. Mike, hook a brother up. I need a little bit of that comp time, man. Just a little bit.
I agree. Show could use some of that comp time, boy. It's time for me to go on some vacation. I need to go get some sand on my feet, clear blue water on my skin, and sun on my hair so it can keep growing. How about that? With that being said, I want to get in here.
So you can do that. I can't.
Yeah. I'll get in here and I'm going to give you the first straw at it. What HBCU news is on your mind?
Well, let's start off with the reason why I'm on the road, Dr. Cavil.
And
that is, I'm actually in Charlotte, North Carolina right now, but I'll be splitting time between Charlotte and Kannapolis, North Carolina, which is a suburb of Charlotte for those who are geographically challenged, like I was the first time I came up here. But anyway, and this comes courtesy of Black College Nines, one of the premier postseason showcases in Black college baseball and softball, returns to North Carolina this weekend with the 6th annual Minority Baseball Prospects HBCU All-Star Game and the 4th annual Minority Softball Prospects HBCU All-Star Game, which will feature HBCU programs across NCAA Division I, Division II, NAIA, and junior college baseball. The softball game is scheduled for tomorrow night, Saturday night, at Stick Williams Field here in Charlotte, North Carolina. And that game kicks first pitch is at 7:15 p.m. And the baseball game, Dr. Cavil, is scheduled for 6 o'clock Saturday night at what's the name? Let me get the name of the ballpark, Dr. Cavil. Atrium Health Ballpark, home of the Kannapolis Cannonballers. So make sure you tune in. The game is available on, I believe, it's Minority Prospects on YouTube. You can search them on YouTube. And if you want to read about all the players who are participating and a little bit of the storylines that you need to watch for in the baseball game on Saturday, go to Black College Nines and read my preview. Kind of took a little bit of a deep dive into this one there, Dr. Cavil, longer than I would for a normal baseball game.
I like it. I got a chance when they came to Houston, played at U of H, took Deuce over there. Man, it was entertaining, exciting, a lot of things going on. Credit to the minority baseball prospects in terms of how they put on an event. It's really second to none. A lot of class out there, gets a lot of involvement with the crowd. Certainly you can tell where they really take care of the players, celebrate them, and a really good baseball being played during that time. A lot of excitement. Obviously, they do the home run, which is a thing of its past. There's one thing that I thought baseball could put in there, and maybe minority baseball would think about this, is, the skills competitions. How could you create some skills competition in baseball? You see it in basketball with the 3 points, pass, punt, and dribble. What about, throwing to the plate, putting a barrel at the plate and having some outfielders put it in there, or having a net in the outfield to see who can throw the net. Some things like that would be interesting to add a little flavor where it's not just about the bat, but also what you see in skills in the outfield, because that's always an exciting play. I've heard you announce some games when we were doing the Black College World Series along with Bryan, and outside of the home runs, obviously, which would get the biggest plug, the plays at the plate were always exciting. Going to any base, obviously the close ones at first, you would check those out. Obviously, catcher to second, shortstop in terms of stealing second, and then every once in a while you got a big one at third. But anytime you got outfielder throwing the second, third, oftentimes were big, but the one that excited everybody is going to home plate. So if you can somehow put that into the curriculum activities, I think it's really going on. But I wanted to really celebrate them. And then what they did this year to take things to the next level, the way they cover the SIEC was second to none. I got a chance to even do some pre-games, stuff that we do for the SWAC championship game. And they were there in the SWAC covering and getting good content in it. But what they did with the SIEC in a lot of ways was next level. So I want to give those gentlemen and what they put together a really good job. And this year for the SIC and SWAC, with the weather, you talking about long days, because they're out there early in the morning, make sure they get the shots from the early game. And then they were there late at night because even later than normal because of the break. So I come in Thursday, they're there Tuesday, Wednesday, early all week. So that's a lot of work. So I want to give them some kudos for that. Good to see you're a part of that.
And what I wanted to add to that, Dr. Cavil, that skills competition, and it's not necessarily been open to the public, but Minority Prospects does something like that for both the softball ladies and the baseball gentlemen, but they do it as part of a scouting combine where some of those skills that you are talking about, the throws from the outfield to the first base, the throws from short, deep in the hole, all that kind of stuff. How long does it take the catcher to pop out of his crouch and throw down to second base? Stuff like that. They do that and they record that as for videos for scouts, so that when scouts come in, they've actually got some of this stuff on film. You know, they sit there and they take batting practice.
I mean, obviously
camera.
not at that level, but they should open that up for some fans. I think they would get a lot of excitement. Even maybe if they do some base running, you know, having folks run from first to second, clocking the speed, see who's the fastest.
They do have the fastest person contest. They do have a run from home to first to clock their time, but they also have a fastest man or fastest woman contest, and that is usually either before or after the home run derby. Did I mention that there's a home run derby preceding both events? Dr. Cavil? I may have left that out in my breakdown of it, but they do the home run derby, and you've been there, so you've seen how they kind of do it, but it has improved since we were together in Houston. They have added some things to it.
Good deal. Exciting to hear that. Very appropriate in so many different ways. So fascinating to see when you think about that. I do want to get into a little bit of the SWAC football schedule, but I want to save that to the second segment because I want us to take a deeper dive in terms of what that looks like. But as we kind of continue to push forward, want to give a shout out to HBCU Legacy Black College Hall of Fame is upon us, and they actually put out there that they'll have a big announcement tomorrow. So that'll be interesting to see what that may be alluding to. But was intrigued about a little bit about Black College Hall of Fame. What are your thoughts in terms of some of those legends being able to be inducted into the Black College Hall of Fame?
I'm sorry, Dr. Cavil.
Go ahead.
You're kind of buffering. I don't know if it's my connection or you. Could you repeat your question, please?
Yeah, I saw it paused there, so I didn't. It might be on your side, but regardless, we'll get through it. Yeah, I'm just talking about the Black College Hall of Fame. What are your thoughts about some of those folks that'll be enshrined in the Black College Hall of Fame this year? I did make the mention, as you think about that, is the fact that they were going to have a big announcement coming out tomorrow. So I'm intrigued to see what that looks like. Obviously, the game is New Orleans. They have a big sponsor coming on. Are they maybe moving the event? It'll be fascinating to see what the big announcement is about. Still buffering there, AD? Go ahead.
Yeah. I couldn't quite hear you. I'll tell you what, Doc. Let's go to break. Let's make sure we got our connections good. Because like I said, I'm in a foreign location. I don't know if it's your connection or mine, but you were buffering on my end there. I don't know if the people out there were able to hear you or not. So let's go in the back room. Let's try to get this
sure.
Make sure we get this worked out. All right. Go ahead, lead us out, Dr. Cavil.
This is Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. We'll be right back after this first break.
If you've ever told yourself, I want to get into real estate but don't know where to start, here's something just for you. From Friday, July 31st to Sunday, August 2nd, the Learn Real Estate Fast Masterclass is coming to McKenzie Office Park in College Park. You'll learn wholesaling, commercial investing, and how to purchase property with zero money or credit. I can tell you, education and access are everything. This masterclass is designed to give you both. Whether you're brand new or ready to level up, this is where you start making real moves. Enjoy free lunch, free study materials, and receive a certification of completion. So don't wait. Seats are filling fast. Do not sit on the sidelines while others build wealth. Take that first step toward ownership and legacy. Get your tickets now at learnrealestatefast.com or tickpick.com. For more information, call 678-859-3303. Master the market. Build your legacy. Secure your future today.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit HBCUPrideJoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter. From cancer care to accidental injuries to cardiac care, we all know that there are times that you can't control what happens in your life. But with Globe Life Family Heritage, you can be prepared to weather the storm when it comes. Call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com. With over 25 years of serving communities, Dr. Beverly Eagles Rogers is here to help you and your family through difficult times. Dr. Beverly takes pride in Globe Life being one of the few companies that returns 100% of premiums to clients that stay healthy. So for more information, call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
Compress the analytic data with your hip-hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they want to lose, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, because he gon' teach a lesson.
This is Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. We'll try it again. We appreciate you working with us. As AD Drew did tell you that he's on the road. So those things happen when you're on the road. But we're going to keep giving you what the people want, which is HBCU Sports News. Look at that. Adam Spencer, 9097. Adam Spencer. Gents, good everything. Go Pirates. All right. Hampton Pirates representing. Should be interesting to see what they have in store for this season. With that being said, SWAC announces 2026 ESPN football schedule. The Southwestern Athletic Conference announced its 2026 SWAC football schedule on ESPN, highlighted by several highly anticipated games on ESPN linear and digital platforms. The Southern Jaguars and Alabama State are slated to kick off league coverage of an exciting clash between two teams set to take place during Week 0. This is a non-conference game, so it won't count in the standings. But it should give you some good indication of where those teams are headed for this football season. It's scheduled for Saturday, August the 29th at 3 p.m. That is Eastern Standard Time, so that's 2 o'clock Central. Alabama A&M is also set to compete on a national stage during Week 0. The Bulldogs travel to Atlanta to face Howard in the 2026 Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge kickoff. That's live on ABC, 7:30 EST, which means 6:30 Central Standard Time. The schedule of SWAC games is highlighted by several classic matchups, which makes sense, including the Orange Blossom Classic, South Carolina State versus FAMU, the Labor Day Classic, Texas Southern at Prairie View. Maybe in the next
the controversy around that.
Yeah, we'll get into a little talk on that maybe in the next segment to take a deeper dive. Or we might do it before we end this one, depending on how the time goes. The Boombox Classic, which some people do not like that nickname, but it's stuck for a lot of folks. The State Fair Classic, Grambling State Prairie View, you know that one up in Dallas. You got the Magic City Classic in Birmingham. That's Alabama State versus Alabama A&M. And the Florida Classic, not to last but to be least, that's in Florida, obviously, between Florida A&M, Bethune-Cookman in Orlando. The 2026 Pepsi SWAC Football Championship game, which not only are two teams seeking to get there, one of them wants to be the host, will air live on ESPN2 on Saturday, December 5th at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's 1 o'clock Central Standard Time. I would say get your tickets, but they're not on sale yet because we don't know who's going to be hosting the game. Well, at least depending on who you ask. Additional platform designations.
Don't tell Jackson State that.
Yeah, exactly. I do like the fact during the baseball tournament, you saw the game that will be between Southern and Alabama State. Commercial airing on there. That game will be on ESPNU. When you break it down, currently we see 2 games on ESPN2. We have 2 games on ABC. That is opening up, as we said, with the cricket. MEAC SWAC Challenge, Alabama A&M and Howard. And then we have the Cricket Celebration Bowl that's going to feature the champion of the MEAC versus champion of the SWAC. Or some people may like me to say the champion of the SWAC versus champion of the MEAC. You have a game on ESPN Plus early on located there. A bunch of TBD. I really like that. That's something new that we hadn't really seen before. There are 7 games or so that are known as TBD, which means they're flexed. They can, depending on what else is going on, how teams are performing. In the race, I'm sure will determine whether you see them on ESPN Plus all the way up to ESPN, certainly ESPN2, and being ESPNU, which is that first one with Southern Alabama State. So fascinating about the schedule. They also talk about the fact that this is just the first push out there what they're doing, and so there could be several games added specifically for SWAC TV. What are your thoughts in terms of what that looks like?
First of all, Dr. Cavil, you left out one very important classic when you were going down the classes because you tried to highlight all the classics, but you forgot the Sydney Classic, aka the Soul Bowl, between Jackson. You know,
don't let me do that. Don't let me do that.
You can't have Jackson State up on you now, Dr. Cavil. So I'm trying to keep him up off of you. We got to remember that one. First of all, TBD to me, Dr. Cavil, means one thing. We have arrived. Why is that? Because you just mentioned it, Dr. Cavil. Those are flex games. You don't know what time they're going to be on, in addition to which platform. And I need everybody to slow down and think about this. We like to compare ourselves to the SEC, Dr. Cavil, correct?
Yes.
I
don't know. I don't necessarily like to, but a lot of people do.
Right. And if you notice, when it comes to their TV schedule, they have the opponent, they have the location, they have the date, but most FBS schools, especially your power schools, do not list the times of those games.
No, we're not ready. You're saying too much.
Because they flex those games into the time slot that they think is going to get the biggest rating for that game. If that's the game that they chose is the quote unquote game of the week. Now, we first make some people mad, Dr. Cavil.
A whole bunch. Let's do it.
You know, come October, that them people are not gonna want their game flexed to that 6 or 7 o'clock time slot because they want to be there in the sun when it's warm instead of that cold game. Let's go to the opposite end of that spectrum, Dr. Cavil. We've also seen them put some of them games at 11, 12 o'clock in the morning, Dr. Cavil. And you know, we fake like we're making all these plans, Dr. Cavil, but you and I both know that we plan these things out about 3 days before they happen, Dr. Cavil. All these folks just be talking about, I don't know if I need a hotel or not, and all that kind of stuff. You're gonna wait till 3 days before anyway to see what's on Travelocity or Expedia and everything like that, and try to catch you some last minute deals. Y'all know y'all faking with that. If you gonna come to the game, you gonna come to the game.
Right. Period. Yeah.
But that means, to me, that means we have arrived because we're at that point in time. And instead of them dictating, you play at 2 o'clock, you play at 3 o'clock, because we all know that September 26th game, Grambling Prairie View, we know we don't want that to be a noon kickoff down there in Dallas, Dr. Cavil. You and I both know that during that time of the year. We hope that game is at least an evening game, so that the sun goes down somewhat. Yeah, everybody be patient. It's a new change. Just hope that I hope they don't put a lot of these games on the U, because a lot of people tend to have problems finding games on the U, and the games on Plus, to me, feel like they get better numbers than the games on the U, because the games on Plus are a lot more accessible because people look at those on their mobile device. I've been long-winded, Dr. Cavil. Let me let the professor talk for a minute.
No, I think you hit it on the nail, and then we're going to do a little bit about the SWAC TV, and then we'll take a deeper dive in the scheduling. So we'll push that SWAC TV because there's so many games and want to get your highlight and what really excites you. But to your point, I want to take a deeper dive in about understanding the schedule matrix and what does that look like in terms of flex time. But there's the discussion out there about the Prairie View game, and the what I call it, the social media echo chamber has taken over, and really folks use it in different ways. Some are with the frustration, some of it I believe to the point now where people just like to hear themselves talk. And then you have the ambulance kind of scenario, or the wreck on the highway where everybody just has to see, so they slow down. Even though you need to be moving along, or you're going to end up causing your own wreck in terms of not paying attention. You're slowing down the traffic. But it was announced a while back. It's not new, which is fascinating to me how people are just finding out that the Prairie View Labor Day Classic has moved from traditionally a lot of times on Saturday. But let me get this cleared out there, because you can tell a lot of folks are just jumping on board and will say stuff and act like they are, historian or speaking for everybody in the HBCU culture, but they don't even know it themselves. The Labor Day Classic has been played on Sunday. It has been played at different times of the year. Actually, it played on Thanksgiving for a while, but because of the teams were not competitive for far too long a period of time, it switched to Labor Day. It has been forced because of hurricanes, some of it because of change. 1 year Prairie View wanted to play in the MEAC SWAC Challenge, so they moved it to the second. And
that's what the MEAC SWAC Challenge was week 1 and not week 0, everybody.
Exactly. And then you had a time where we had tragedy in terms of weather that forced the game to be moved to the end of the year. So it's been at different spots at different times, but even around the Labor Day, it's been played on Sunday, it's been played on Monday, it's been played on Saturday. So it's been played at different times during the year. So anybody tells you that it only played on Saturday, you need to look at them and say they're a damn lie. Then hopefully they can get to their point. Well, it's one thing to be out there and make your points, but you ain't got to lie. I keep it real with you. You ain't got to. So the other thing is that people don't understand the process. You sign the contract with ESPN. Now, you may not believe it's worth enough, but that's fine. And you need to go get somebody to help you dig up the numbers. As you see other conferences, they don't put out their numbers. Now, people that are in the media will go dig and try to find it out, and sometimes they'll get some rough ideas of what the contract is worth. So we can see that. We do know the contract has increased since it has begun. But even with that said, they don't just pick out a time. They are given a schedule. They select some games, and then they'll enter into discussion with the home AD and say, hey, do you have an interest? We think that we could flex this up. Instead of having it just on ESPNU, we can flex it up maybe to ESPN2, but if you do that, we'd need to have this window. Are you interested? They don't just dictate that. They're interested. AD can put it at any time, whatever, and they'll do that, but they'll provide you an incentive. They'll actually give you more money for having the flexibility to allow them to put you on a prime, and because it's going up, you get more viewership opportunities, which if you're taking care of your business, you can make money off of that, obviously. But the most thing that people should realize is the fact is that it's negotiated. ESPN doesn't just tell the conference what to do. It's a partnership. So I want to get that out there because that's a misnomer claimer because a lot of people would say, hey, this is just the way no, that's not correct. And that are all the games. People need to understand that the contract is set up in such a way that ESPN will get a number of games and they work with the conference to choose those games and make sure they're open. Once that's done, there is a number of games that HBCU Go will look at and decide what they want for that network. And then oftentimes whatever is not signed in that case, then that's when you'll get the SWAC TV again, which will break that down and goes to them. And there could be some flexibility. There's times when that has slightly changed for different reasons. Obviously, bigger brand name coaches in terms of NFL coach, starting with Coach Prime, going into different matchups, decides oftentimes where a game is flexed in terms of the station, rivalry, people's expectation of who's going to be at the top of the conference, the numbers that Prairie View was able to get last year in the SWAC championship game, in the celebration game, although a lot of folks are just about attendance. One of the things that we've tried to educate fans that attendance is important and it's significant because you do get revenue off of that, but you can't get more attendance than in a stadium, no matter if you're at one of these institutions that have 100,000 seat stadium, than a million viewers. You can't put a million viewers in the stadium. To my knowledge, I hadn't seen a stadium that seats a million people.
110 is the max.
It paid more for broadcasting. And thank you, AD Drew. And a lot of these folks have the concerns, rightfully so, that they would like to see the brand image of HBCU, specifically SWAC and their teams, move up the component of where it is on the networks. Well, a lot of that is going to have to deal with your flexibility. Trust me, SEC does not determine where the games are in terms of the network and what time. They are saying this is where we're going to play this primetime game. And if you want to get there, you have to be flexible and you still got to show up and show out. So you can't say in one case you want this, but then to say the culture says you want that. And I'm not saying either one is wrong, but you're going to have to make some decisions in terms of how you want to fit in this if that's the process. I'm going to put a pin on it. We'll go a second break. We'll come back. We'll come back with SWAC TV, Drew, and then I'm going to open it up so you can give your thoughts and carry on if you want to add to that or shift.
I do have something to add.
I figured that. I want to hear it right after this next break.
From cancer care to accidental injuries to cardiac care, we all know that there are times that you can't control what happens in your life. But with Globe Life Family Heritage, you can be prepared to weather the storm when it comes. Call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com. With over 25 years of serving communities, Dr. Beverly Eagles Rogers is here to help you and your family through difficult times. Dr. Beverly takes pride in Globe Life being one of the few companies that returns 100% of premiums to clients that stay healthy. So for more information, call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com.
If you've ever told yourself, I want to get into real estate but don't know where to start, here's something just for you. From Friday, July 31st to Sunday, August 2nd, the Learn Real Estate Fast Masterclass is coming to McKenzie Office Park in College Park. You'll learn wholesaling, commercial investing, and how to purchase property with zero money or credit. I can tell you, education and access are everything. This masterclass is designed to give you both. Whether you're brand new or ready to level up, this is where you start making real moves. Enjoy free lunch, free study materials, and receive a certification of completion. So don't wait. Seats are filling fast. Do not sit on the sidelines while others build wealth. Take that first step toward ownership and legacy. Get your tickets now at learnrealestatefast.com or tickpick.com. For more information, call 678-859-3303. Master the market. Build your legacy. Secure your future today.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. Whether you're a student or a lifelong supporter, our gear lets you wear your HBCU story with confidence and style. Because when you wear HBCU Image, you're not just wearing clothes. You're wearing culture. You're wearing pride. You're wearing purpose. HBCU.
This is Bryan Fulford. AD Drew and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Lab. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Lab, YouTube at MyJDN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
Compress the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna lose, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
This is Dr. Cavil with Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. And as we went into the break, I want to do a little bit of tease there to see what AD had on his mind as we were talking about the Twitter social media is what I like to talk about, a controversy, if you want to call it that. I say that Echo Chamber is doing its work. And I'm not saying that there's not a perfect time. There are some times that you would prefer to have certain games. But if that's the case, you also have to understand that you're not going to necessarily get the television exposure you want, and therefore the dollars associated with it. And so, which is also fine. Just give more money to your institution in terms of athletics to make sure that they can still be as competitive as possible. So we were talking about that, and AD Drew wanted to chime in, and so I wanted him to do so.
All right, let's talk about the schedule. First of all, everybody has to realize these games were already on the schedule. These games were not put on this date just to appease ESPN and ABC. These were games already scheduled on these days. What ESPN, ABC, and Disney do, they go pick the best games that they see fit on that are scheduled on that particular day. But let's look at this schedule, Dr. Cavil. Southern, name brand NFL coach. Alabama State.
First year, everybody wants to see what is Falk going to do.
For Alabama State, former NFL player, and a lot of people who don't look like us, Dr. Cavil, think that Eddie Robinson Jr. is related to the Eddie Robinson. So you've got that name recognition.
Right.
I'm just being for real.
True, though. It's true.
Alabama A&M. Okay, that's the Cricket Be Abstract Challenge kickoff. So that will get there by default. Plus, you still have former NFL player as coach as we bring Bryan Fulford in. South Carolina State, you know, the national runner-ups last year. Florida A&M, brand name, former NFL player as head coach. Prairie View A&M. That's I'm sorry, I said South Carolina State was runner-up. South Carolina State was national champion. Prairie View, national runner-up last year. And I don't care what you say, T-Jack is just a it's just a soundbite waiting to happen.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah. Texas Southern, former NFL player. Grambling State, the name says enough right there. Eddie Robinson did enough for the next 50 years for Grambling State. Jackson State, same thing. The name says it all. Brand value. So these games are picked strategically. Alcorn State. A lot of people still associate Alcorn State with Air McNair. So these games are picked strategically for name brand value and storylines, everybody. That's why they do this. And Dr. Cavil, we can do all this complaining that we want to about start times and everything else, TBDs and all that stuff. Do y'all remember what the alternative used to be, everybody? Do you really remember, Dr. Cavil? Yeah. Thursday night. Give me 11 o'clock on Sunday, anytime. before 7 o'clock on Thursday night, Dr. Cavil.
Yeah, I even took Friday night.
Exactly. Bryan, you
come. Has been working out pretty well.
Yeah, you coming in, Bryan. I know you've been listening on the sidelines and everything, so I'm gonna yield the rest of my time to you, my guy.
Doc, what are we complaining about? What are folks? We complaining?
Yeah,
we complaining about. Hey, last night we did.
Folks, let me get this straight. People are complaining because the folks that go to club on Saturday night are gonna have trouble getting up in the morning to go to an earlier service, so they can leave that service to go to Prairie View for a football game. That's what they complain.
They could have grew up in a Southern household because how Mama say, if you can go out Saturday night, you can get up Sunday morning and go to church. I know it's a lot of Southern folk who live by that mantra.
Hey, Doc, they got this thing these days called a phone. Watch your service on a phone. Get out of here with that. They got a phone. Watch your service online.
They already doing it from the house.
Wake up and watch your service online. Don't give me
and
that.
Bryan, it ain't like we don't watch the game from church anyway when the NFL game come on.
And I promise you, a lot of those folks that out there on that social media echo chamber, they hadn't been to church since Easter. Some of them hadn't been since Christmas.
Hey, the church.
Go check the envelope.
The church service got 3 different times. They doing an 8 o'clock, they doing a 10:30, and then they got a 6 o'clock just in case you missed. It may be in another language, but
just like the state of Texas, we like to do things big. Guess what? The churches are big too. You
got a home with a bigger church
that big. They gonna do many times of service, and they gonna do Saturday night. Some of them even do Sunday evening. So you have plenty of time to make sure that you go get to work. Because I do agree. There's many folks out there that need that word in their life.
I think people just complaining to complain.
It's slow. It's slow right now.
It's fashionable. It's slow. We ain't nothing else to talk about. We just want to complain about something. So, I mean, come on, get out of here with that. I mean,
So let me get in
one last thing. Who's gonna be the preacher who brings the tent and does the revival in the tailgate area? I just want to know, Dr. Cavil, which one of those Houston preachers is going to bring the tent and do revival in the tailgate area?
Hey, gonna be somebody gonna do.
Be a smart move for somebody.
Yeah,
I'd recommend it.
Let's get into this SWAC TV. I'm excited just because of the number of the games, and they still are liable to add a couple of games. I was told about that, so. We'll keep that in mind as well. But in regards to that August 29th, 4 games, a lot of them are with these D2 SIEC versus SWAC matchups. So it'll be interesting to see Clark Atlanta at Grambling State, Albany State at FAMU, Morehouse at UAPB, that's Arkansas Pine Bluff, and Miles at Alcorn State, all on Saturday the 29th. It'd be interesting to start time, see if there's flexibilities where you'll be watching all games at once, or where you get a chance to fully engage in a game or two and then go to the next one. We'll see. I know there's some things that are looked at in the future more about looking in those flex windows in terms of scheduling games. Any thoughts on that opening weekend, if you would, about SWAC TV games from your perspective? AD.
Well, I obviously, I'm happy, but I'm not happy because that takes away from the Cricket BX SWAC Challenge kickoff and everything. So I've got to do double duty on that day. So obviously that's just a personal thing for me, y'all. Nobody cares about that besides me. But yeah, I do hope, Dr. Cavil, for the sake of the network, that these games, or somebody has gotten into the room and say, let's space these games out. Let's do a noon, a 3 and a 7, or a 3:30 and a 7, or something along those lines. And there will be weeks where you will have more than 3 games on SWAC TV going on. You'll have 4, 5, 6, and sometimes maybe doing the.
And they all working on a multi-window set up. I don't know if it'll be ready for the beginning of the season, but I did get an update that they are working on that technology as we speak.
Yeah, but so hopefully there are never more than 2 games going on consecutively with the same start times on SWAC TV.
Good point.
And just get the multiple devices ready for those days that there are, because even if they do space these things out, we talking SWAC football. Somebody's game is gonna go long. Somebody's band is not gonna get off the field on time during halftime, which is gonna extend halftime because of the check presentation, and then that's gonna be the game that goes to 3 overtimes. Everybody, so
Bryan, next week, September 5th, you have another group of 4, if you would, games against the SIAC. You have Miles. This time they face off against Alabama A&M. Boy, that Miles schedule start things off. They look like they're trying to get in the SWAC.
they're trying to get their money right.
All that money right for sure. Lane at Alabama State, Central State at Grambling State, and Kentucky State at Southern. Any thoughts on those slew of games? The idea SIAC versus SWAC.
You know what? So that's, you know what, Doc? I was trying to figure out whose logo that was at Alabama State. I thought it was some AI generated dragon. I wasn't really sure what that was, but okay. So that's
it was AI generated, but it was trying to generate the Lane Dragon, which is hard.
Look, that's an inside joke. Anyway, but I
called it.
Yeah, thank you. That I was wondering, but hey, how about now? I know Southern University. Now, I don't, correct me if I'm wrong here, Southern wasn't appearing on SWAC TV too many times last year, if I'm not mistaken. Were
That's
they in home games? So I was excited to see 2 Southern home games. That first one being on September 5th. I'm like, whoa,
I see
Southern University.
You also go into September 19th, the Louisiana Christian. And then you have a conference game, UAPB and Southern.
I'm like, so hey, that must mean that Southern is joining the SWAC TV party. That's good. That's good for everybody.
Good. That is a good thing.
That's good for everybody. And then I saw, I think what is really interesting is that for most of the first 10, 11 weeks, there is no fewer, maybe except for 1 week, there's no fewer than 3 games. And then there's even a week where there's like 7 games.
Yeah, that's
so
great.
You know, while Drew was talking about spacing those games out, I'm sitting here thinking, man, I hope that multi-window option becomes reality. I'm hoping it becomes reality.
Y'all seen my TV video wall? It will be working that day.
Yeah,
and I will post up the large screen as well. Man, I'll be in hog higging no matter what the match is.
I don't know if I have enough devices
that week.
Yeah, I don't know if I have enough monitors and devices and laptops and phones to cover 7 games that one particular weekend, you know.
And that is September 19th, since you brought it out. It starts with Stephen F. Austin at Prairie View, Bowie State at Alabama A&M, Tuskegee at Jackson, Delta State at Mississippi Valley State, Louisiana Christian, as I mentioned a while ago, at Southern, Virginia Lynchburg at Bethune-Cookman, and it ends with Central State at Arkansas Pine Bluff. Wow. 7 games on September 19th, boy. That is all right there, boy.
That is awesome, man. And I think everybody in the conference, if I look, is hosting, you know, they have a home game on SWAC TV. So I think that's a positive, saying kind of it's showcasing what everybody has available to them, that there seems to be a commitment by everybody to sort of get their digital houses in order, their telecommunications, their video production. If you're not producing it yourself, you figured a way how to outsource it, or maybe the conference is helping with that. I think it's outstanding. I'm really excited, and just, you know, more coverage, the better for everybody.
Now, on September 12th, I'm fascinated about this game because SWAC TV gets to have Tennessee State at Alabama A&M. How about that on SWAC TV in terms of the brand of Tennessee State? Obviously, They're dealing with some other stuff right now, but their brand endures regardless. But yep, what is that?
How soon after? How soon?
I think I gave it a different name yesterday, but I-65.
How soon after that game are Tennessee State alums like, man, this is a great platform. How come we ain't on this? How come we don't have one of these?
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly.
I'll give it about 30 minutes.
Wait to that.
Yeah. By the end of the first quarter, the message boards will be hot. Man, this is great. I wish we had this in our conference.
Between that and HBCU Go, they gonna be like, man, what is the world?
What are we missing out on?
Let all this pass us by. Yeah.
What are we missing out on?
AD, any thoughts?
No, I agree with Brad with all this everything that he said thus far. It's just amazing. You know, Brian, you remember a 3 years ago, I used to have to put out the matrix of what to watch, where to watch, with the links and all that stuff now.
Yes.
Brian, there's really no need to do that anymore because between SWAC TV, CIAA network, SIAC network, your HBCU Go game, and plus, I mean, you know, you just go to one of them, you guaranteed you're going to find a game somewhere with one of our conferences. I just need MEAC to figure out where they want to land at so we can figure out where to find them at easily.
Yeah. Everyone more said, happy wife at Doc's house. You sure right. She ain't got no problem with Big Boy.
Doc ain't coming out for the next 10 hours there.
Oh, yeah. Yes. I'll give me big bowl of nachos. Might even decide to barbecue early in the morning. We'll figure out something, whether it's call in. I don't know. Every other Friday we do Pizza Friday, so it might be Pizza Friday. I might just heat up some pizza the next day and call it a day.
You always got DoorDash, Doc.
Yeah, there you go. I'll use it too. With that being said, we get into late September and you really get into the conference matchup. Now it gets fun. 26, you have Texas Southern at Alcorn, Alabama A&M at FAMU, Mississippi Valley State at Alabama State. So you have one Western Division game and two Eastern Division matchups. And then you go into October where you start to separate folks a little bit. You get a little tease of what's to come. October, you have Pine Bluff at Southern, Alcorn State at Grambling, Alabama State at Bethune-Cookman, Prairie View at Valley, and Jackson State at Alabama A&M. That one will be fascinating, probably in Mobile for that game. So, yes. Go ahead, Drew.
You know what also October usually signifies, Dr. Cavil and Brian?
What is that?
It's also the start of homecoming season.
Homecoming season.
So
thinking that as well.
You'll start seeing those homecoming matches. And you know what our next complaint is going to be? How much of the band do we show during halftime of those particular games? But because we're on SWAC TV, we can control that a little bit more than we do when we on the ESPN platforms, because we don't because unless they get the show together, and I know they're working on it, they're not gonna be kicking it back to the studio. They're gonna be staying on location.
Well, right now we just have one game on October 24th, which is Jackson at Bethune-Cookman. Could be interesting. We have 3 on the 31st, Bethune-Cookman at Pine Bluff, Alcorn State at Valley, and Bethune-Cookman at Grambling State at Texas Southern. Brian.
Yeah.
Anything stand out for you that weekend or two?
I'm just trying to figure out, well, is that a low October 24th? Is that one of those days where there's only like maybe 4 conference games? You got several people on bye. I'm just kind of curious why only one game that week. That must be I haven't seen.
Yeah, I bet you it's a combination of buys, and you probably have the other networks picking up some games. So what do we say?
I know traditionally Alabama State and Alabama A&M are off that week.
Yep. So that's your buys. So that's part of it in terms of what's going on there. Getting into November, where we still get to really see. At this point, we know who are the contenders. You have Grambling at Texas Southern. You have Alabama A&M at Prairie View, Alabama State at Texas Southern. You have Arkansas Pine Bluff at Grambling and FAMU at Alcorn So you have 5 games that weekend. We start to close it out with another 4 games on the 14th. Grambling State, Bethune-Cookman, Prairie View, Pine Bluff, Valley State at FAMU, and Texas Southern at Alabama A&M. We have some of those East-West matchups. So fascinating to see is one division getting it done against the other division. And at this point, we start looking at those losses. Who are we taking out? Who's in the race? What game may decide whether somebody stays in the race or not? And then that final weekend, essentially conference games, we do have Alabama A&M at Mississippi Valley State on the 24th. And then we have that Thursday game, Tuskegee at Alabama State on SWAC TV.
One thing that I've noticed by just an unofficial count, 10 of Alabama A&M's 12 games are on SWAC TV. I don't think anybody else has that, just off, well, maybe Valley.
Yeah, just roughly counting, yeah. Who is that? Which team?
Alabama. I just counted. Alabama A&M has 10 of their 12 games on SWAC TV. Noticeably, obviously, the Magic City Classic is not on it. And then, I don't know, there may be obviously one other.
Obviously,
the cricket challenge.
There you go. Okay. Yeah. So there you go. But everything else is on SWAC TV. So
they on ABC in terms of that big matchup. And then to be determined for the Magic City Classic.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Fascinating look.
Shout out to PV versus everybody.
Exactly.
He wants to remind everybody that 2 ESPN games. We did go over and let folks talk about, go check out your show. I saw the little sign bite where you talked about the numbers. I agree with you. Great point when you put that out there. With that being said, let's get ready to take our last break. We'll come back on the other side. We'll kind of close things up with some conversation and recognize, if nothing else, we're going to recognize and talk a little bit about Morehouse in regards to back-to-back SIAC men's Commissioner Cups. Big deal. We'll be right back after this last break.
When it comes to professional learning, teachers deserve better. From the leader in online learning, Stride brings you the Stride Professional Development Center, an on-demand library of mobile-friendly courses that gives teachers choice and flexibility, allowing them to learn anytime and anywhere. Our dynamic courses provide bite-sized learning and help educators advance their knowledge while also gaining professional development hours. It's time you take charge of your learning. Visit us today to get started.
Planning an event? From weddings to corporate functions, CMJ Events LLC brings over 15 years of experience to make your vision a reality. Based in Metro Atlanta and serving statewide, even internationally, we provide versatile event planning and authentic catering cuisines tailored to your needs. Whether it's pre-game meals for student athletes, fundraisers, weddings, corporate functions, CMJ Events LLC is your one-stop solution for exceptional service and unforgettable food. Our diverse culinary heritage means we cater to all cultural tastes, dietary needs, and food restrictions, making every meal uniquely yours. Let's make your next event unforgettable. Visit us on all social media at CMJ Events LLC or email us at cmjeventsllc@gmail.com. Also give us a call at 404-664-3882 so that we can start planning now. From cancer care to accidental injuries to cardiac care, we all know that there are times that you can't control what happens in your life. But with Globe Life Family Heritage, you can be prepared to weather the storm when it comes. Call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com. With over 25 years of serving communities, Dr. Beverly Eagles Rogers is here to help you and your family through difficult times. Dr. Beverly takes pride in Globe Life being one of the few companies that returns 100% of premiums to clients that stay healthy. So for more information, Call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
Compress the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they wanna lose, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
This is Dr. Cavil's Inside HBCU Sports Lab, and we have one other on the view. We have the AD of Morehouse, 92 alumnus, and former NBA player, if you would, legend for a lot of folks in this HBCU space, Harold Ellis. How you doing, Mr. Ellis?
I'm doing great. Thank you. I'll slide you the $20 after we get off the call for the introduction. But
I appreciate that. I appreciate you. Too kind. You too kind.
Thank you very much. I just got off alumni sports call that went really well because athletics is really picking up at Morehouse, and it's just been great.
Yeah, I can imagine. Always on the clock, as they say, to make sure that you can support everybody. I did want to talk a little bit about the reason that we're here with the big announcement. Back-to-back Morehouse Athletics claims SIAC men's commissioner after a historic championship year. SIAC championships, particularly tournament championships, a lot of deep runs, a lot of history at Morehouse. But in some ways, you really seem to have a renaissance, revitalizing the program with the support of a lot of the alums. Talk a little bit about what you were able to do to get that done.
So when I got to Morehouse campus, I guess, 40 years ago, 35 to 40 years ago, we were at a place where we were just kind of stagnant. It was Morehouse College. We were happy with being 500, and that used to be the norm, actually. Years before, back in the way days, we're good. But then we got to a point where we just stagnant. And I came from a winning program in high school, and I didn't know what it was to, lose. So when I got to the campus at Morehouse, I wanted to change the program. I was a basketball player. People thought I was crazy. I said, we're going to win. And we took the program to new heights in basketball. It's the winningest program during that time as far as basketball history, to go from the middle of the conference to winning the conference and being elite for the next 4 years. So let's fast forward it 40 years. And it's the same thing. When I got the opportunity for Dr. Thomas to come back, and we have a new president, Dr. Bowman, who's outstanding. He's an athletic guy and a sports guy. He's my classmate. We had an opportunity to change it again. And my thing was, I want to win. I compete like crazy. I have different ways about going about doing it. But I saw the vision in Morehouse and how we were going to do it. There's a lot of things that I changed in the process of trying to win. I wanted to be the best. And I have a big thing about being the first to do everything. I'm just big about being the first. I think at Morehouse, we generate men and young men as the first in every field of their endeavor. And I wanted to be that in athletics. I wanted to change how athletics looked. And to be honest with you, I wanted to be my first year, it was like drinking out a fire hose because there's so much going on. So I had to slow down the second year to get to the third year. And to be honest with you, my 3-year plan was originally a 5-year plan. We just got there in 3 years. And I think that's what people don't understand. We're at the top of the conference. So now my 3-year plan, my 5-year plan, I want to be national. I want us to be national. We have a national brand. I want to go to the NCAA tournament. I want to go to the football playoffs. And I want us to compete nationally on the field and in the classroom. And I think that's what we changed this year.
Man, it's going to be a lot of folks that are happy to hear that, but I also say that some folks are going to be a little nervous about hearing that in terms of your conference poll.
I'm going to tell you this now. I compete. That's one thing. That's one thing I can say about this conference. And I told these guys in this conference when I got here, we're going to be the best in this conference when we finish and when I get ready to leave the conference. So that's the same thing as going as far as being an athletic director. I want to be the best in this conference. I want to be best nationally, but I want to come in and change how we look. And this year, man, we had one of the most historic seasons in the school history, if not the conference history. So that's something that you can pat your back. And let me tell you this. It's not about me. I have an incredible staff. We have a small crew, but our staff is incredible. You know, from the coaches to the sports marketing manager to the executive assistants. I mean, we have a staff, man. These guys shouldn't even be working in Morehouse. They should go off and get bigger jobs. That's my opinion.
Wow, that's amazing. Bryan, go ahead and follow up.
That's a tough follow. Hey, congratulations, AD Ellis, man.
Thank you.
I love it. Hey, I'm curious. You know, with all the winning that you have done over these 2 years, have you found that with the I mean, look, we know the alumni that Morehouse has. Like, I was honored to meet some of them when I came up for the relays. But does it make the calls a little easier and people a little more receptive when it's time to fundraise and you're asking for things? Have you noticed that transition now that, as you said, the mediocrity is gone? Morehouse is winning, and I love the way you guys promote it. You guys make sure people know that, hey, Morehouse is winning.
Right. No, this is Morehouse, right? Okay. So it's interesting. I'm just saying it's interesting. Before I got the job, I was that guy that was saying, hey, what's going on at Morehouse and blah, blah, you know, whatever it is. And now, and especially our new president, man, he expects to win. And alumni expect to win, and I love it. It has made an easier call. I was just on a call with alumni and parents about giving and the direction the program is going in, which is great. It makes it an easier call. But one thing I can say, what people don't know about Morehouse, man, these guys compete. That's why I chose Morehouse to go 40 years ago. I mean, we compete in the classroom and it trickles into the court, meaning onto the field and the court. It's just that we just had the right leadership in place for it. But it makes the call easier, but they expect to win, man. I've never seen nothing like it as far as sports-wise, because the sports marketing manager, Eddie Drew, can tell you it's always pressure on our department. It's unbelievable what we have to do, but we love it. We're going to win. And like I said, we're not done this year yet as far as competing. I want to be the best in the country, and I want to be the best in HBCU.
Appreciate you.
I want to follow up, Harold, and ask you this question.
Yeah.
I know there's only so much that you can put out on it. Now, obviously, if you want to break any news, we welcome you can do it here. But games with Howard, been legendary, both in in football and then also in terms of basketball, where you actually got a big win a couple of years ago. It kind of sent some shockwaves here across the HBCU landscape, if not the nation. But answer it from this perspective. I know people have had the discussions about Morehouse going FCS. Again, that's internal. But talk about your experience of being in the business of sport, now being at the helm. What does it look like to even frame that decision? What things in your mind need to take place to see if that's even real in terms of, from your side of the house, working with the president and alumni? What would need to take place for you to put that on the table for the board to seriously consider moving, if that was something that was even a desire?
Okay, first and foremost, Howard, I consider Howard as our peer. It's one of the schools that's a partner school of ours. I have a great relationship with AD Carey, and I think Howard is one of the premier institutions in the country as far as HBCUs. And we showed that we can compete with them in basketball, and we showed that we can compete on that level in football. They've knocked us around in football last few years, but we split with them in basketball, and I think that's huge because that Martin Luther King Classic is big time. But you know what it does show? It shows that that conference and that level of sports is not far away from us. For us, it's financial, but you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. You know, we're not just going into these games not competing. You know, we had a chance to win last year. I'm just going to face it. Howard has taken, you know, 2 of our players off the basketball team. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that's a positive because one of those kids, Cedric Taylor, I mean, he was a great player for us, and that's what he's supposed to do. We promote moving up to a different level, but I love it. I mean, Howard is coming to Morehouse to get our guys. Let's really, that means we have a product, we have a coaches, and we have leadership in place that we're developing young men to move on to the next level. Now, one day, will that happen and we're peers, truly peers? Hey, that could happen in the future, but right now, it's all about finances. It's finance with us. We're happy with the SIAC. We're here for a reason. We've been a historic institution in this conference. We see some good things growing, but let me tell you this: we Morehouse. We grow, we develop, and we sometimes outgrow our space. That's what we've done the last few years. We've outgrown our space, and I'm gonna tell you this: it's always opportunity. So listen to me. What we develop at Morehouse, and I tell people, kids, you give us 4 years, we give you 40 years back. That's my recruiting spiel on recruits. I'm going to say this. I came to Morehouse to grow this program out, and we're going to do that, however that looks. But right now, financially, let's kind of just stay in our space and own it and be the best in this business doing it while we're here.
I think you painted a very clear picture, and you did it very well. I'd be remiss if I did. Well, let me see, Brian. Did you have a follow-up question before?
No,
Okay.
no, I didn't. I mean, I know we're on time, and I know you might want to get somebody else in there to ask.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that we give the floor back to AD Ellis and give him a chance to put some things out there that we may not have asked in the interview. So, with that being said, the space is yours.
Yeah, so I just got to commend our group of coaches this year, our staff, our leadership. We have a board of trustees that's really involved. Our president, Dr. Bowman, has been huge in the success of our program this year. We're going to bring home the Commissioner's Cup, which is the best in business, first in class. I say best in class. We have 4 championships. One is the best historic year in Morehouse College history. You know, indoor track, outdoor track, cross country, basketball, had a 3rd place finish in baseball, 3rd place finish in golf. We killed it. And I just want to thank everybody. We came from, I got here, we were just in this place, right? So now in 3 years, we're at the top of this conference. I want to keep growing. I want to go nationally. I'm hard on our staff. I mean, people, even in community service, I want to be the best in that. We had a first-time Zaxby's deal this year, the first time a college has ever had a food deal in athletics. We had a Zaxby takeover. We had Georgia Access. We've just done a lot of stuff, and we've created a space that we've never been down before. And I just want to tell people, man, the Commissioner's Cup, people take it for granted. Morehouse people think we should win everything, and that's what I feel. But this year we had at Morehouse College, it's a year that might never happen again. And my deal is after when July 1st hits, we're going to start a new season, and we're going to try to top the year we had this year. And from the exposure, can I talk about the schedule coming up?
Yes.
Our schedule has improved. That's one thing I wanted to change. I wanted to play big games. I wanted our kids to expand. I had us in the NBA All-Star game last year.
That was big.
in San Francisco. It was one of the largest games in television history for HBCU, and it was our largest basketball game ever. We played the Howard game. We did the Chicago Classic. We played the Howard game in New York, which is another big game. So I wanted to, every year I want to beat what we did the year before. So this year coming up, we have an unbelievable schedule. We start off at Arkansas Pine Bluff for their Classic. And I was just on a call today. I got to go do a press conference there, which is huge for us because we just never been down that road with playing big games on the road to open the season. We start off with the Labor Day Classic against CAU, which is our rival.
I like that.
And it's going to be the first time we move that game to Labor Day. And I think that's going to be huge for us and our fans. It's at BT Harvey Stadium. And then we follow up with the Montgomery Classic, which Mayor Steve Reed, that's a Morehouse grad, Montgomery. They do a good job. We sold it out last year, and that's a big-time game. And this is the real kicker. It's something that the AD and Howard, we had to work out some logistics. We went back and forth, but it's something I want to do. I wanted to play in the largest homecoming in HBCU history, and that's us playing Howard at Howard. That's going to be a big time game. It's going to be bananas with the fans. It's going to be bananas with the sponsors, our alumni. Everybody's talking about it, and that's going to be a game that will be unbelievable. It's never been done before on homecoming. So that will be huge for us to go to D.C. And the AD Carey and I at Howard, we did a good job in negotiating this. And I got one surprise game at the end of the season. I can't really release it yet, but hopefully I can come back on air and we can do a grand release. But I'm going to tell you this. My goal is to expand this brand. Expand this brand all over the world. I'm just going to give you a hint. It's going to be all over the world. And that's one thing that I would love to do with our brand. We're already a national brand. We're academics, and now we're athletics. We're trying to catch up to academics, and that's what we did this year. So we got another game coming up. But our schedule is unbelievable for our type of level of football.
I must admit, that's a very exciting schedule, and you can book it. As soon as you're ready to now, make sure that you have the flow on the show. You bring it right back there, and we'll make sure we have a release of this big game that finalized. I'm sure some final parts of the contract need to be signed. Those kind of things. I've been in business, so I understand.
Absolutely, we might have it done by Wednesday.
You did what you're supposed to. You got a lot of folks excited. They're looking to try to hear and figure out what the big announcement is. So. Kudos to you in all seriousness, AD Ellis. Wonderful job. Keep up the great work. And seriously, anytime that you want to get the information out, you certainly are welcome to do it here inside the HBCU Sports Lab.
Hey, man, thank you guys. Thank you guys a lot. And like I said, man, we got a great president and we got a great alumni. And we rolling, man. Athletics is rising at Morehouse.
We'll be right back after.
Before you go, Dr. Cavil, before you go, ADF, I just got to say this. I just want to thank this man publicly on the air because 2 years ago he took a chance on this guy who had been in Alabama at the rival for all those years. It was associated with the rival and brought me on. Yeah. I thought some of the things that he was trying to do was a little bit out in left field initially until I slowed down and actually understood the vision and saw the vision. And I was one of the first people to buy into the vision. And, and then not only that, he bought into my vision of what we could do in the media space to help grow this brand through some of the basic stuff, just making sure the stats are correct, making sure the recaps are done correct. Allowed me to create what was then the Maroon Tiger Sports Network, now part of the SIAC network, and then let me guide this thing that we're growing on social. So, he did his part by putting the other people in position so that we would have winning teams, and he allowed me to do what I needed to do to make sure that the story gets told and that we get on those brands. Because 3 years ago, 5 years ago, you didn't hear anything coming out about Morehouse athletics. Now y'all emails get flooded with Morehouse information.
Yeah, and what's crazy about it, the alumni now, they expect information all the time. But if you look back 2 years ago, we didn't even have this information. Now we're one of the largest as far as views on social media. We have a young kid and that Drew manages. That's awesome. But now we have arrived and we're here to stay.
No doubt about it. And you know how to get it done, social media, because you already got folks out here arguing. Largest HBCU homecoming in history? Question mark.
Yep.
Now. That's what you're supposed to do.
Hey, I'll put anybody homecoming up to us in Howard. They're gonna have to see us out in the backyard somewhere. They're gonna have to see us in the backyard. That's one thing we're not gonna do. I went and got one of the best HBCUs to play, and that's what we're gonna do. We got the largest HBCU homecoming next year. We are gonna have
talk it. And to your point, last thing we'll close on this. As you said about the media space, that Zaxby, component that you brought to the table and how you put it in social media takeover, as you call it, that was brilliant. Well done, and I want to give you kudos on that as we go to this last break and come back on the other side. Thank you, AD Ellis.
Thank you very much. All right.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. Whether you're a student or a lifelong supporter, our gear lets you wear your HBCU story with confidence and style. Because when you wear HBCU Image, you're not just wearing clothes. You're wearing culture. You're wearing pride. You're wearing purpose. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
What up, y'all? This is Dante Horn, starting guard for the Prairie View A&M 25-26 SWAC basketball champions. As an MVP and a champion, when I'm not studying, practicing, or hanging with family and friends, I take the time out to catch up on my HBCU highlights by watching Dr. Cavil's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab.
Horn, pump fake, steps to the two-point jump shot. That is fundamental.
Well, you got to stay on your feet on him.
Looking for some space, and he runs into the end zone. The first score of the game. Teams that were not picked to win their respective conferences.
Prairie View produces productive people. Prairie View, where champions are built. Not like me. PV, you know.
Compress the analytic data with your hip hop. If you know them like I know them, they gon' tell you if your team, if they want a law, and who the ball. So listen to Professor, yes sir, and pay attention, cause he gon' teach a lesson.
Yeah, I just wanted to say appreciate Drew setting that up. I know we've gone a little longer than we traditionally do, but thought it was special when we knew we had an opportunity to bring on Ellis. We are going to work with AD Drew to make sure that he lightens up the room. We want to make sure, particularly when you talk about the Jordan brand that he has on the short, that's another way to market it out there. Want to give a shout out to Outcast Bill. He said, correction, this isn't the first time Morehouse played at Howard for homecoming. It's the first time in like 30 years. Last time was October 18th, 1997. Great to always have the history. We set it straight here. I think the biggest thing he talked about to make sure that was the biggest homecoming, and obviously A&T Roy with G-Hope would push back against that, but a lot of people oversell G-Hope, so it is what it is. We'll let that stand where it is. And then, you know, 2 minutes. It is what it is. There are a lot of schools out there that have some significant homecomings with people. They just decided not to put a tagline on it. Whether you're talking about Prairie View or Southern, Jackson State, FAMU, to name a few of them out there that are significant that I've literally been to, as well as G-Ho. I've been to them all, so I'm not just telling you because I happen to be at one. I've been to several homecomings, so I can tell you from experience of several of these homecomings, which is a whole different thing. A lot of folks can't say that.
I've been when it was just HOE.
That sounds like some of that old MEAC talk right there.
I didn't say that, did I?
Yeah,
Sorry.
We're going to close it out. before we get ourselves in further trouble, I am Dr. Kenyatta, the Dean of HBCU Sports, coming from inside the lab in the College of HBCU Sports with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop, both on assignment. All right, take care of yourself, fellas. And we got the sports wrap together for the second half of the show. Bryan and AD doing it like they always do with great information. Got a chance to check out the O&G. Great interviews yesterday, Bryan, with the team there. And way to hold it down for a segment, solo. I don't know if people really understand how challenged that it can be if you're not really skilled about making things interesting as you talk through it, and you did a great job of holding it down, as always in a lot of ways. But I want to say again, we want to thank you for listening to Dr. Ville's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. And AD Drew, thank you for always finding a way to put in time to make sure that we can get the Inside the HBCU Sports Lab out to the people, particularly when we have people on assignment in different ways. So you are extremely appreciated. Great work. I was going to tease you, though. I thought you were going to put out your whole CV for a minute there. But with that being said, again, we want to thank you for listening to Dr. Ville's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Watson and Charles Bishop. Every Tuesday and Thursday, 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. That'll do it for this week. We look forward to next week as we discuss the latest news in the lab. Follow me, Dr. Kenyatta Cavil. That's DrKenyatta on Threads, Facebook, and Instagram. Inside the HBCU Sports Lab 1 on Facebook. Inside the HBCU Sports Lab 1 on YouTube. Dream big. Continue to move forward. We will talk with you soon. AD.
Course.
Bryan.
Lecture.
Dismiss.